Hi, this is Mike from Motion Instruments, and I'm going to give you a quick video showing you how to get started with MotionIQ and make your first recording. So we're going to start up the app, and you'll notice at the bottom the app has three main modes. There's the record mode, results, and reports. It starts up in results by default, and at the top of the screen, if you click there, you'll get a list of recordings, and we give you 4 samples to take a look at, and all of your new recordings would show up in this list later once you create new recordings. So we're going to tap on record, and now the first time you come here, it's going to ask you for Bluetooth permission, so click OK. And then you'll see at the top it's giving you a tip to go into the bike setup, so we're going to go in there. Now in the bike setup, at the very top there's the name of the bike, and this defaults to the name of your phone. So you probably want to give that a different name. This name will be used for all of your recordings. So I'm just going to call it Bike 1 for now. But if you have multiple bikes, this is really handy to create. You can create multiple bike setups and give them each their own name, and it makes it easy to search for those recordings later. So I'm going to select a bike model now. Now there's 2 bikes models that come with the app, the generic hardtail and generic softtail. And if you want to select your specific bike model, just tap on the plus at the bottom. This works for people who have the Pro subscription or Expert subscription. You'll be able to go here and get a list of all of these specific bike models that we support. So I'm just going to click on one of them, the GT Force here, and now you see that model is now added to my collection of bike models. And so now I can select any one of these and go back to my bike setup. Okay, so by selecting the GT Force, you can see it's set up my head tube angle, my fork travel, and rear axle travel, and you can override those values if you want to by tapping on them, but I'm just going to use the defaults. And now you're going to connect to your tracers. So click to connect and hold your phone really close to the tracer that you're connecting to. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the shock tracer. It only takes a second or two to connect. If they don't connect, they might be sleeping. So the sensors go to sleep after about 20 seconds to save on battery. So just kind of gently shake the tracer for a couple seconds to wake it up. Okay, so once you're connected, and connect to the handlebar button too. I don't have one right now, but when you connect, hold down to the button. You might have to hold it down 10 seconds the first time you connect. So then you'll have that. So then click on Calibrate at the very bottom. You only have to calibrate once when you first connect to your tracers. So just tap on that, and you're going to hold your bike. Hold it so that both wheels are off the ground and the suspension is fully extended, and then click on Done. And you should see a message here telling you that your calibration is complete. If you get something else, just check to make sure that your sensors are mounted properly and that your both axles are fully extended. Okay, so you're done. Click on Done at the top right, and now you're back on the main record screen, and it's going to ask you for location permission. Location will let the app record your tracks as you ride, and it gives you a map of your ride. If you don't want that, you don't need to. It's optional. Okay, so now you can see that these tooltips are going to kind of walk you through some of the controls on the record screen. This control defaults to millimeters, and you can change that to percentage of travel. This max will show the maximum compression of both front and rear, and when you tap on max, it resets it back to 0. And then sag, once you're connected in streaming data, you can click on sag to measure your sag position. Session notes allows you to record lots of different notes about your suspension settings and how it performed, and you can go back to look at those notes later, or when you generate reports, those notes get used there as well. And then finally here we have this is your main record control, and I'm going to show you all of those in a second. Okay, so if you ever want to see those again, just tap the question mark in the top right, and it'll start up the the notes again, and you can just tap the question mark a second time to turn it off. Okay, so we're going to go into live data streaming mode. So in this mode, as you move your bike or compress, you'll see the data show up here. It's a great way to sort of just check and make sure all your sensors are connected and working properly, and then go into record mode. So when you're in record mode, when you tap on record, it instantly starts recording. You can see the timer ticking there. If you tap pins, you'll see the pin counter move. And when you're done with recording, done with your ride, just come back here and tap off, and it will stop the recording and ask you to save it or discard it. You know, if you are just doing a short test, you can discard. It's your choice here. One other thing to point out is the GPS icon. So you can see I'm locked on GPS. So when you're locked on GPS, you can use the auto record mode. So if I hit auto, the phone will turn the recording. It'll pause and resume recording depending on your speed. So if you're moving the bike, it'll record. If you stop the bike, it'll stop. So that's great for enduro riders who are going for a 2-hour ride and going to take a half-hour break for lunch. But if you're a downhill rider and you just want to get that 5 minutes and you don't want to your recording to be interrupted, use the record button. That's a quick tour of recording. And then again, as you go and make your recordings, they will show up in the results section here. So just go into here and hit browse, and you'll see your recording. So you can review it later. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.